Okay, so I wanted to talk about a few extra characters, particularly the Bandai Namco characters who are actually licensed and could have been in Tekken 7. This is not going to be like a super in-depth breakdown. I don't really have the audience for that, but I still like to voice my opinion on the matter. So, right off the bat, starting with Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, these are characters that I've seen are licensed by, Bandai Namco. I've played the games Pac-Man World 1, 2, 3. Didn't really finish 3, but I did finish 2. And the attacks that he has in that game kind of resemble Mario and Sonic, which is kind of okay. I'm pretty sure they could have worked on his moves better, like that spin dash thing that he has, or the spin attack, and the butt bounce. He had an attack called the butt bounce, so that was like Mario's ground pound. But once he hit the ground, he could, bounce again. Or no, he also had Rev. I think that was his spin attack. He had the Rev attack. Sorry, wasn't spin, but he did spin afterwards. But the Rev attack allowed him to, charge up before he would spin. So that was something that I thought about a lot as well as Miss Pac-Man from the Miss Pac-Man series. She had her own series as well. Or if anything, Pac Jr. was a cartoon, I think, for a while. They could have probably went with him. But then again, like the two most iconic characters that we all know is Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. Or Mrs. Pac-Man? I don't know. I think it's Miss Pac-Man. I don't really remember what MS stands for. Miss or Mrs. Pac-Man, I think. Whether or not they're married is beyond me. Kid Kazuya could have actually been one of those type of characters. Kid Kazuya could have more than likely have been on Gun from the Tekken 3 series, which Harada stated that he doesn't know if he can get the license back for that same exact character, which is fine. We have Roger Jr., who should be grown up by now. We also have Alex. These are characters that, once I learned, kind of like the bears, when I actually learned the bears in Tekken 5, they were pretty good. I mean, I wasn't able to do like the whole trickster type of thing that everyone else can do and then power crush over and over and over again. I wasn't able to do any of that, but I was able to play the character like generally straightforward, dodge a few things and stuff like that. Because anytime someone wanted to use lows on me when I had the bears or I had Eddie Gordo, everyone was always able to hit me, and there was nothing else about that I could really do. Practicing for me only gets me but so far, because the main people I have to deal with are like jabbers and stuff like that, so I'll leave that alone. The usual tricksters and stuff like that. Next I wanted to talk about would have been the Dragon Ball series of Dragon Ball Z. They've been licensed by Bandai Namco as well, with the Tenkaichi Budokai series that was on PlayStation 2. We've seen what Goku and Vegeta, Frieza, all of them, we have more than likely have seen what they look like with the intros to those same exact games, especially the very first one. Goku looked about as real as the Unreal Engine could more likely muster. So, there's Goku, there's Vegeta, Goku in general, because I think he would be a very intriguing character, especially if you give him moves from some of his supporting, from his supporting roles that he's had before. There's Broly, or Broly. I call him Broly, but people call him Broly. So, Frieza, Jiren, or Beerus. I've not actually played with Beerus, so I really don't know what his movesets are. I've only seen slightly some from the Dragon Ball Super cartoon, as well as the movie. Jiren is kind of new, so I can't really tell you what his attacks are, but I know from Goku's standpoint, he has his Kamehameha. He has a Solar Flare, which would be a great technique for a stun. Pretty sure they can work around that and figure out how. Like I said, I'm only here to mention the characters and some of their strong points. The Kamehameha, I guess, will be attached to a bar. Of course, they would have to give Goku a bar, and within some of those bars, he can either choose to do a Kamehameha, or he could choose to use Super Saiyan or something like that. And his Rage Art could be Spirit. No. His Rage Drive could probably be Spirit Bomb. His Rage Art could be that ultimate dragon attack. So that's something. I mean, like I said, workaround. I'm only in, to mention most of the things that he has and stuff like that. He could borrow. Remember in the Dragon Ball Super episode, he borrowed Krillin's Destructo Disc. So he could definitely use that in some way. Multiple Kamehamehas and stuff like that. That's very, very useful. But I like the idea of the Solar Flare as a nice counter attack or something like that, or that instant transmission and stuff like that. That would be probably a cool. It's so funny how instant transmission works, because it's an instant speed that they themselves have already mastered, which is kind of dumb. If they all move at those same blinding speeds, instant transmission doesn't really. It's not really very intriguing. Now I think about it, it's like, oh, I can get to the other side of the planet in an instant. But it's like, oh yeah, they also move at speeds that's like, oh, huh. Other characters I'd like to talk about. Other characters I'd like to talk about would be from the Bionic Commando Rearm series. Nathan Rudd Spencer, Meg Brubaker. From the Rearm 2 series, he was pretty powerful. Look, he could climb on the ceiling and shoot stuff at you, and he had like a grappling arm. His legs were from when he was taking their bionics, body part got blown up or something like that. So I found that kind of interesting. Please not Hobo Spencer, not that Hobo Spencer with the dreads. He looks like a homeless man. Give us the. It would be nice to have gotten the Nathan Rudd Spencer from Bionic Commando 1 and 2. Those type of outlooks. Whatever happened to Geese's retro hairstyle? Is his neck in the way? Is his neck too big? So, Bionic Commando Rearm. Now, I know you're going to get a huge kick out of this one. I added them in the very last minute, and I forgot to scroll down, but here we go. Crash Bandicoot. Now, I know that he is no longer licensed by Naughty Dog and their team, but the idea for me having Crash Bandicoot in the game of Tekken would finally add him as a fighter element. We've already seen Mega Man in Smash Brothers, so I mean it would be cool to have Mega Man as well, but I have no opinion about that one, at least not right now. But Crash Bandicoot definitely would have been a nice element. His spinning tornado, his death tornado as well, be a nice element. We would have his sliding attack, his fruit bazooka, or the Wumpa RPG. His body slam would be like what's his name, but a little bit faster. Gigas. his body slam would be somewhat close to Gigas level, but a little bit faster than that because he's smaller. What other attacks does he have? I guess maybe his Rager could probably be his motorcycle attack, and he could also have a projectile, you know what I mean? Like he could either throw the fruit, and then like an EX form version or a heavier form would be the bazooka. What else does he have? He has the run attack, so he can probably be like El Fuerte from Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4. Super Street Fighter 4. I think he was in the first one. He was in Street Fighter 4. Doesn't really matter. And so his body slam, his speed attack, his bazooka, throw fruits at you. He could, for his grab, he could probably, you know, just like hit you with, put a box on top of your head and bounce over you. That would be awesome. I would love that. That would be nice. But as far as Crash Bandicoot goes, I don't understand why. First of all, I was about to say Namco, Naughty Dog can't get their license back for the character. It seems kind of stupid. Everybody else can license and screw up Crash Bandicoot, but you mean to tell me the originators of Crash Bandicoot can't get the license back for a character they created? Quite the stupidest thing I've ever had the misfortune of hearing. But still a good character, think about it. Another one is Darkstalkers, or you know, Vampire Hunter Dimitri. He's got his pyro attacks that he took from Pyro. You know, his vampire powers. Whom I really would have been interested in seeing is Psycho or Felicia, especially in like how would they look in those specific costumes? Oh my goodness, word. So that's something. It's a nice little detail. Who else? Power Stone, Shoma. He has a sword and everything. Rouge. I don't know. Falcon? Maybe. They have some pretty intriguing attacks and stuff like that. You know, what's his name? Wang Tang or Wang Tang? I guess if you want to rhyme it, but I think his name is supposed to be Wong. But I don't think you pronounce his last name as Ton, unless you want to. I mean, that's completely up to you. Mortal Kombat, Ermac, he's pretty much a fan favorite of mine. His telekinesis and stuff like that would be pretty intriguing to throw in there. Shao Kahn, oh dear God, he would be an awesome force to reckon with in Tekken 7. Goro, even, like the amount of throw game that, you know, Goro has, it would just be destructive. But Shao Kahn, like if we were going to choose from out of all, I'd choose Ermac, obviously. So the amount of Sub-Zero DLC, Scorpion DLC I've seen from Injustice is just annoying. And now they have the Ninja Turtles. I was like, that, depending on if their moveset's good, I might buy that game. Just to only play the Ninja Turtles. I don't even like the Ninja Turtles anymore. The cartoon is just terrible. The worst pandering crap I've ever seen. Teen Titans got messed up in that same regard. That's a shame. I mean, I like the silly elements and stuff like that too, but I think there's a way of going too far in those type of things. But Shao Kahn, I feel like, yeah, there would absolutely no doubt be a greater element to having Shao Kahn in Tekken. That would have blown people's minds. You couldn't imagine, unless your mind was blown, then you still couldn't imagine because your mind would be blown. Or Shiva, Shiva from Mortal Kombat 9. I really like that version. She had a very, very unique design. Seemed sexy for a woman with 4 arms and who's part dragon for some reason. Yeah. I mean, seeing as they turned Leo into a male, we are lacking in female characters, so Shiva would definitely have been a nice add-on. Another Namco or Bandai Namco licensed game would be like One Piece, Naruto, you know what I mean? Luffy, Zoro, which they call him Zolo over here because Zoro is taken already, licensed, what a white name anyway. But yeah, Sasuke, Sage of Six Paths, Madara himself. Madara's not the Sage of Six Paths, I'm saying like Sage of Six Paths or Madara would have been cool. Scott Pilgrim, yeah, that was a thing on my list for a while. I always kind of wanted to see Scott Pilgrim in a fighting game. So like Scott Pilgrim or NegroSaki, like as a like one of those devil transformations or devil triggers would be pretty righteous. Knives Akim, as they both have those particular, what do they call them? Oh dang it, I've forgotten. Projectiles, yeah. Kim's projectile is a giant snot ball, a blue kind of teal, is it teal? Or something like that, turquoise, teal, somewhere between blue and green, but more blue than green, but the slightest green tint. So, you know, she throws that projectile in the Scott Pilgrim game, which I found pretty fun. I like Devil, what's it, Devil Scott? NegroSaki. You can still call him Devil Scott. The negative version of Scott Pilgrim. I think he would have been a nice addition. He has the Tiger Knee as well as the Mets Hadouken with a smile on it. Yeah, knuckles. So I think that would have been very intriguing. Ramona could more likely be like, what's his name? Norimaru from the Marvel vs. The Marvel, I guess, Marvel, was it? It's not Marvel vs. Capcom, but it's it's one of those Capcom presents Marvel vs. like series or something like that. Marvel vs. Street Fighter, I think it was. I'm not really sure which one he was in. I used to use him a lot. He was in the Japanese version of that series or whatever it was. So I think like Ramona would have a nice Norimaru element or effect to her character if she was there or something like that. Then there's knives. She has projectiles, she has knives and stuff like that. So her ninja attacks would probably be close up there with maybe Yoshimitsu's. A lot of people don't really like Yoshimitsu. I love him. I absolutely love him.